Hello, I am Cole Spivey, and I am one of the creators of the Please Subscribe show. I am currently touching up my werewolf screenplay. Remind me later on that one. And I am going to let you look at my software and also at some of the script. I've never seen an Linda helped me with this word. Optometrist. I'm going to go with optometrist. I've only used readers from right before postgraduate, right before I went to the Actor Studio Drama School in New York City. I did not have reading glasses when I was at the Actor Studio and did not really need them. But I would go like this, and then I would open my eyes and I would be able to see better for 30 minutes or so. Eventually, over time, in my 40s, probably about 45, maybe 43, 45, I'm almost 50, I went for the readers and started off with 0.5 and then moved up to 1. These are 2.5. My grandfather was a diabetic. He also fought in World War II, I believe in the Pacific, on an aircraft carrier. I do not know the details. He did have to have insulin and was diabetic, and he did go blind, but not from the diabetes. He went blind because of some kind of muscular thing that went on with his eyes. And before it was over, before he went completely blind, about the time when Scent of a Woman came out with Al Pacino, is when he went legally completely blind. A little bit before then, probably a few years before that movie came out. When that movie had come out, he heard about the movie, and we all loved it, and we all became big fans of Al Pacino. Scent of a Woman, I think he won. Al Pacino may have won for that. Al Pacino's performance was, it looked exactly how my grandfather would look at things. It looked exactly like him because of something Al Pacino was doing. He won an award for that, and he deserved it. But regardless, that may be one of the reasons why I have not seen an optometrist. I hate that word. An eye doctor. I have not seen one because that's a big thing. But I've been with 2.5 this year. Last year, I think I was exploring 2.0. That's the power of the reading glasses. I'm going to show you some of the process of how I go about script writing. Now, I know I've heard a lot of things. I've studied a lot of Quentin Tarantino because he's one of the masters. And so is David Lynch. I'm a big fan of David Lynch. But Quentin Tarantino is one of our best screenplay writers, and probably will be for quite a bit of time. But I hear that he does not pay attention to format. And now he's writing more like short stories or novels that he gives to the actors. And then he goes from there. And then they probably touch that up. I'm going to turn this fan up. They probably touch up his novels and his short stories for the sake of the theater or the film, meaning of having some form of script, some form of play, some form of screenplay, as they would say, so that it's compatible with using a camera and being on set. I don't know the secrets of it. But I do know that since Sid Field came out with a book that I will show you, because I take screenplay writing pretty serious. I have since high school, since I was young. I got into it right before my senior year. It's in my collection in my library. It's right here. They still teach his stuff today. Turn this off because of Kitty. But since I've been vlogging, my style has changed. But it's important to have a format, if you can, because it's a language. And this is a great way to start right here. Sid Field's screenplay. It's great. Talks a lot about Chinatown. Jack Nicholson, the great actor, did Chinatown. Roman Polanski, the director. I'm about to be interrupted, but read this, and I'm going to show you some of my script. I use Final Draft. You can get Final Draft for $9.99 on your phone, and it's great. This software was over $100. I bought it a long time ago, probably 2017, when I got this computer. Here she comes. Big time interruption. I'm in the last stage of perfecting a pretty important screenplay. One of my favorite playwrights is Arthur Miller, who wrote The Crucible. For a reason, if you know anything about McCarthyism, please leave a comment. But this has nothing to do, this one right here, my werewolf film, it has nothing to do with McCarthyism or communism. Maybe a little bit of capitalism, maybe, but it has to do with a response to the Me Too movement, as in M-E-2. And it has to do with the relationship, the dangerous relationship that can happen between a very powerful person, like a producer like Harvey Weinstein, and a aspiring woman that is gaining power in Hollywood. Now, everybody knows Hollywood is run by women. It has been from the beginning. It's a female town. And the power that comes from Hollywood is from a woman's perspective. A man is not really a writer, but don't tell Hemingway that, okay? Because Hemingway would beat you up with his fist. Plus, he was also a soldier and a warrior and a storyteller. A man is like a plumber or a soldier, maybe an astronaut, but not really like a writer or really not an actor or a ballerina, which is what Linda calls me. Linda's persona is in this screenplay. But a man is a masculine thing, but he can write. Now, I am a strong believer that the pen, and even the movie, but especially the pen. Let's see if I can find a pen so I can tell you. I know kitty cat's running around. A pen. He's okay. Kitty cat's okay. It's really an interruption. We were interrupted. But the pen is mightier than the sword. I do not feel that you can take things. He's just getting all these. Let me show you what the cat's doing. Right here. Okay. That's what the cat's doing right there. He's doing nothing, sweetie. I'm teaching.
Playing with the flip-flop.
He can play with flip-flops. It's fine. And that's some of the dialogue in the scene. Okay, cut. Fade out, dissolve, back to the living room. Okay. You probably can't fade out and dissolve, but let's say dissolve back to the living room. There is also free software called Arc Studio. Pretty good. It's free. You can save that $9.99. You don't have to use screenplay. You don't have to use Final Draft. But the reason for the screenplay is so the producer or the director, and maybe the writer, and then of course the actors can see something that's formatted and understand what it may look like on the silver screen, on the big screen. That's where it came from. So let's first talk about the technicality of the screenplay and the things about it. And I have to shut the door while I teach this. Now, if this is a professional class, I would have her off with her friends. Oh, is that Mom from Maine?
Yes.
I used to live in Maine. I've written books and things like that. They're all self-published. But I'm going to switch over here for a minute and talk to some important aspects about the screenplay.